So this video is a little different format, as I'm at my girlfriend's house and filming on my phone because I don't have any cameras. Really just a rant. So if you're not up for a rant, probably skip it. I'm not saying I smoked weed for the first time in 8-ish years. Not saying that here in the wonderfully warm state of California where we can see our breath on location just for the day. Totally not saying that. But if I didn't feel so shitty right now, I'd feel pretty good. And the reason I feel shitty, I get a lot of crap in the YouTube comments about my methods and the mistakes I make, and I get it. But as I think about it, I was trained to not be great. So let's get into this. I knew how to climb before I knew how to climb. I was a salesman at a steel dealer, fell in love with chainsaws, saw Honey Key, climbing, fell in love. Alright? But it's not like I had a job the next day or anything. So I watched the videos, I went to climbingarborist.com, learned the knots. I knew in my mind how to climb before I ever was in a tree. Of course, I didn't know how to climb. Things are always different once you get up there, so thanks to Joe, patient teacher. But basically, I spent the good part of the first part of my career unlearning all those things I learned. All those cool right way to do things. And the question is, why is that? Because that's what it's like as a climber here in St. Louis. This is a stupid tough market. And it is cutthroat, and bids are garbage. So they bid as low as they can to get the job. But then they expect the person doing the job to do it in this amazing amount of time. It is either you do things quickly or, you can go work somewhere else if you can find work. So I had to unlearn everything I had learned in every situation I would come across for the first time because, you're not doing everything, your first week. It's not like you can climb every tree, come across every situation. So every time I came up to one of those situations where I knew in my head the right way to do it, just because I'm a nerd like that and know what gear to use and all that, instead I think, what can I do to get this down the quickest in a safe-ish manner? Because at the end of the day, even working as fast as I worked, and I'm not the fastest, I'm not saying that, I would still get shit from every company I worked for, except for Wildwood when I was there for the week, but that's because it's a special case. I'll get into that later. But everywhere I've been, it's all just get it done now. And when you have to hear the boss all the time talking about productivity and this job here, last Tuesday, what happened there? Why did it take so long? And you're just constantly having to explain yourself week after week after week when you come across things like, oh hey, it's in the power lines. I'm supposed to have this job done a half hour ago. So you get to the point where you just do things and they're not the right way to do them, but you do them because it just wears on you hearing the shit. Yeah, that's pretty much everywhere. And so if you want a job here in St. Louis, you do things a certain way because everybody underbids everybody else to get the job. And why is that? Why is there so much competition? Well, one, because there's no governing body with any authority to do anything. Anyone with a truck and a chainsaw can call themselves a freaking arborist and go start working. When that's what your competition is, how much do you love climbing? How much do you want to stick with it instead of going and finding some other stable, safer job? Well, it's because we fucking love it. But yeah, there's nobody to enforce anything. The TCIA and ISA are the governing bodies, but what can they do? Are they going to go around and hand out tickets? And even them, I lost a whole lot of respect for. When I'm going to burn some fucking bridges here, and I don't even care. Gamma? Fuck you. When I was at Gamma, they didn't even have safety chains on their chippers. My chipper had like one. I believe still the biggest company in St. Louis. 2 different shops, bunch of trucks. Can't say bunch of gear because they don't have any free. They didn't even know what a porta wrap was. They didn't have any porta wraps. When I went there, I would use all mine because the biggest company in St. Louis doesn't have any idea what something that is standard pretty much anymore is. Still did trunk wraps. But when I went there, they got the TCIA and ISA logos right there on their trucks. It's like, oh, they got members of the family on the board. Okay, I guess that makes sense now. And what it all comes down to is working like this, we are the most dangerous, along with fishermen, right? Most dangerous profession. More of us die all the time. And why do we die? Because there's nobody to enforce the rules. You would think somebody would. So the complacency from TCIA and ISA, not auditing those that they give the stickers to, just means I have no respect for you and really don't give a shit anymore. I've been an ISA member from the beginning, even before I ever even went up in a tree, I joined because, that was the way I wanted to go, to do it right, to get my certification and be professional, but don't even care anymore. Fuck you guys. What do you do for us? You could be saving our lives. You could be doing site inspections, audits. So more of us are dying because you're not enforcing and just handing out that badge pretty freely, it seems. So yeah, to the companies that untaught me how to climb and taught me the St. Louis way to climb, fuck you, because I spent time in a wheelchair and have bolts through my pelvis because you bid so low to undercut to make money. That sucks. I knew that tie-in point wasn't great. I knew it. But I thought to myself, how much longer will it take to reset? And I decided not to reset because of that. I had 2 coworkers tell me they didn't like my tie-in point. So fuck you guys. So yeah, I decided I think I'm going to go legit. Ready to go. Still a lot of work to be done. I need to start looking actually at advertising because I couldn't, in good conscience, hire someone and, have such an important role in their life, providing to not be able to do it. But I'm tired of putting myself at risk and just dreading the shit you got to hear from the managers at the end of the day or the end of the week. I'm tired of making them money. That's another thing that, what the hell am I going to do? It is such a cutthroat business. When I go bid side jobs, that's the first thing I think of is what would others bid this at? And then I'm under the pressure because what do? You can't raise the bids because then you won't have the work. So what do you do? When your competition, how do you do things the right way? So even working for myself, I know, even the side jobs I have done, I know that time weren't an issue. I would have done things differently. So I gotta look at the fun world of advertising. Bill Hicks would be so ashamed of me. And he's like my favorite person ever. Yeah, so fuck all of you giving me shit for the way I do things. Especially if you are in an area where you make a decent living and don't have to listen to your bosses fucking down your throat, bitching at you about productivity every fucking day. No, another thing. Dude, fuck you, Brian Kennedy. You trolls can troll me all you want. I don't give a shit. A while back, my girlfriend at the time posted something, and I guess he found out somehow it was my girlfriend. He started talking shit to my family. No, dude, if I ever see you, I'm gonna fucking... It'll be really hard to hold myself back. Tim Connors once told me that he had never seen anyone get hit that hard and not go down. And that was really like the only compliment I ever got, because I'm not like a phenomenal fighter. But I can usually hold my own, and I think what that kind of compliment really means is I'm pretty fucking tough. So fuck you. To everyone that's a tree guy watching this, as just proof of kind of what I've been saying, how many times have you been part of an argument on Facebook about a tree bid? You guys aren't disagreeing, even though you are disagreeing. It's just you're using the wrong rules. It may be that much in this area, but in this area, it won't be. Oh, yeah. Another rant. I'm done working with tree stuff. I took my banner actually down last week. Like pretty much all of you, I'm guessing, from all I hear anymore is, man, ever since they got bought out by Cheryl Tree, they're just, even as a customer, I've had horrible experiences with their customer service. I actually have a few things in the garage, 2 new saddles, a new foot ascender that I'm supposed to be making videos of. But honestly, when I look at the gear and I start wanting to do the research to do these videos, I look up there and it's like I'm not proud to work with them anymore because they are a shell of what they used to be. So thanks for that, Cheryl Tree. Appreciate you ruining something that was so awesome. In case you guys don't know, really look into your gear because licensed products run rampant, and honestly, it's hurting the industry. The new Notch brand from Cheryl Tree, they don't, as far as I know, they don't actually make anything. They license the name out to a company, the company makes it, and they paint it the first company's colors, Notch, and they sell it, even though they had no part in the process of making it. The carabiners, there's no Notch carabiner facility anywhere around. So what they're doing is they're creating competition at a lower price for the vendors that they've been making money off of for how long? So then your vendors start going out of business, and the guys that were innovating, they're no longer around. And Notch isn't interested in innovating because it's there to make money, not to promote the industry. And yeah. Stein does it a lot too. I know they have stuff of their own as well. When I bought my Stein X2s, I didn't realize that they weren't Stein X2s. They were Climb-Rites, just painted Stein colors. Shit like that. John Deere, oh my god, those guys are the worst. Coming from a former John Deere salesman, yeah. So definitely gotta find a new supplier. This is looking at Wesper. I like Nice Guy Dave. He's pretty nice, it seems. Anyway, I think I'm done with this rant. Alright, I was going to edit there, but I remembered some things. One, I am so ashamed of being a smoker that I actively go out of my way in all of my videos to make sure they pretty much don't show me smoking. And I hate myself for it. I'm saying this is my last cigarette. I'm saying that in front of all you assholes, so if I do start smoking, I'm gonna fucking hear about it forever. So, that's a pretty good incentive, I think. First time I went up in a bucket, the other company was right there. I didn't know I was supposed to have a hard Assad. So, we'll keep climbing. And not smoking. Have a good one, humans. Me and the girlfriend are going through some things right now, and in addition, she's really sick. And yeah, I'm a little stressed out. So that's the reason I didn't smoke weed for the first time in 8 years. But it's not something I'm doing again. Back to sobriety. But I'm glad I did. It really kind of changed my perspective on some things. Yep, have a good one, humans.